This is exactly why people always say, live like there's no tomorrow. Love who you got, because at some point, it'll all come to an end, my friends. We got ourselves a sad breaking news update. And in my opinion, a career like this to come to an end like this is just, it's a sad story, right? You're talking about an amazing story that started off for Anthony Joshua back in 2012. Before that, he was an Olympic gold medalist. But throughout his career, starting in 2012 and by 2017, was fighting guys like Vladimir Klitschko. Before that, yes, 2016, he beat Charles Martin to become the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. But that fight with Vladimir Klitschko was on a whole different level. You're talking about 1.7, 1.8 million buys. More buys than any of his other fights. Even with Alexander Usyk, I don't think there's a single fight out there that would be able to beat that fight involving with Anthony Joshua, unless it's with Tyson Fury, which was supposed to happen in 2026. But with the breaking news from Anthony Joshua's uncle, it seems like it's coming to an end, my friends. I got a statement here to read you guys. So this is the uncle of Anthony Joshua has spoken on regards of the breaking news that Anthony Joshua has retired from the sport at just 36 years old, my friends. The uncle says the major thing is he's retired from boxing. That is one thing that makes us glad, because each time he's fighting, we are always getting over emotional, carried away with our emotions. Each time he's knocked down, it's just like the heart is coming out of my chest. It hurts to see him get knocked down. All those emotional feelings, whenever he's fighting, it's so much trauma for us. Now that he said he's leaving while the ovation is highest, we are happy. And I'm going to say it like this, my friends. Sure, the end of the Anthony Joshua's career might not have went the way that he wanted to, but overall as a whole, in his 12-year career, it's been absolutely sensational. Sensational. Beating Vladimir Klitschko to become a unified world champion. And I mean, come on, dude. Tyson Fury beat him in 2015, right? Almost a year and a half later, he comes back and fights Anthony Joshua. But before that, Klitschko was running the game from 2004 all the way to 2015. 11 years as the heavyweight champion. And also his other brother, Vitaly Klitschko, the Klitschko brothers. Arguably the greatest brother duo in heavyweight history. Was also absolutely ridiculous, right? I believe he went from 2003 to 2012, actually finished off his career on that win streak run for 9 years and called it quits. Anthony Joshua was the man to basically introduce the new era to the world of boxing. It was the past versus the present, the new, when it came to Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko was already, 41 years old. And my goodness, that fight, like I said, $1.8 million buys. I think there was over 90,000 to 100K people at the stadium. And it wasn't at the Tottenham Stadium. It was at Wembley. That's how big of a fight this was. It was a good fight going up into the 5th round, where you had Klitschko start to dominate Anthony Joshua. Right after Anthony Joshua, in the beginning of the 5th round, comes out, haymakers, and drops Klitschko on the floor. And for the rest of that round, Klitschko just went into death mode. And came back, 6th round, dropped Anthony Joshua, and was looking like he was going to win this fight until the 11th round when Anthony Joshua landed that uppercut. And my goodness, my friends, the rest is history. Anthony Joshua only has 4 losses in his career, 2 by knockout. But when you look who the fighters that he fought, he lost to Andy Ruiz. What did he do? He got knocked down in that fight. He continued to get up. What did he do? Instead of chasing another fight or running away, no, he faced his fears. He faced the person that beat him, came back his next fight, regained his unified titles, right? Fast forward to his next 2 losses, back-to-back losses against Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk, right now, it's debatable that he might just be one of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time, especially in our era, especially, right? The first fight, Usyk kind of dominates him. The second fight, Anthony Joshua, looks like, he tried to fix some of the things that was wrong with him and put up a better fight in the second fight, even though he got dominated and we've seen how everything turned out at the end. I think, some of these fights were the fights that the family, his uncle and his family were specifically watching. And I was watching Anthony Joshua after that Alexander Usyk too, when he got the mic. It was sad, bro. It was like he's an emotional roller coaster. He doesn't want to lose these fights, but he was losing. And then you see him get back on a little win streak and have his fight with Daniel Dubois, and it turns out the way it does. But to see him come back December 19th against Jake Paul, beat him like that. One thing about Anthony Joshua that I will say is that he was never a goddamn quitter. I don't care. There was never quit in this kid. When he was knocked down, he got up every single time and continued to fight, even if the fight was stopped. I respect the hell out of anybody that steps into a boxing ring and has competed against some of the best boxers in the world. Anthony Joshua, during my era of watching boxing, has just been at the top all the time. Him, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. Things are starting to change a little bit, right? This man is sold over what? 6 to 7 pay-per-views, over 1 million buys. Yes. Joseph Parker, what was it? 1.6, 1.5? I mean, this dude has sold ridiculous amount of pay-per-views, has made ridiculous amount of money, and to see things end like this, man, it's hard because you want to continue to come back and fight, right? He's 36 years old. 2026 was going to be the year where he was going to fight against Tyson Fury. I thought this fight was going to break all the records, even him and Vladimir Klitschko, for the most sold pay-per-view fights in history of his career. And it doesn't seem like it's going to happen anymore. And I'll tell you why, bro. It's because those 2 guys that he lost, not only, part of his team, strength and conditioning, but were also 2 of his closest friends, best friends that would travel countries to go spend the holidays with you and your family. And I don't know if Anthony Joshua can do another training camp with having to hire somebody to replace your 2 best friends. I don't think he could do it no more. I don't think he could step into the boxing gym or any gym and not remember the times that he was physically training with his 2 best friends. I think it's just too emotional now. We don't know if he's feeling guilty for all this, even though he shouldn't. But sometimes when things happen for a certain reason, you tend to put the blame on yourself. And he shouldn't do that, but you just don't know where he's at mentally. And to try to come back and just come into a fight, especially against a guy like Tyson Fury, emotional, probably putting on your back, I'm going to do this for them, and then you don't do it. It's a roller coaster, bro. And I think his family has talked to him. I don't think they want to be put through this anymore. I think throughout the end of the career of Anthony Joshua, I think there's been more sad times than happy times when it comes to, some of the losses. I think with these two friends passing away, you just can't take no more pain. It's it. That's it, bro. That's it. With a record of 29-4, two-time former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua from the UK is officially retiring. And I don't ever see him coming back, but if he does, it'll be one of the most iconic finishing endings to a story that I have ever seen in my life. This ending, even though we just talked about his respectful career, I absolutely love Anthony Joshua. It's a sad ending, man. It's a sad ending, and I hope to see something great come from this. As long as Anthony Joshua is happy and his family is happy, I'm happy. And I'm truly grateful for all the amazing, amazing memories that you have given us. Those fights with Andy Ruiz, I know it hurts, you lost that fight, but you got to think about how Andy Ruiz was the first Mexican heavyweight to become a champion. And, the emotions that gave Latino fans. You made people's dreams come true, bro. And then you come back and get your titles. That is a true warrior. And I'm truly grateful for all the amazing times. Even the times you lost against Usyk, you went in there and fought your heart out. You fought your heart out. So be proud of yourself, bro. Because as a boxing fan, we love you, bro. And wish nothing for the best for the rest of your life. And we will continue to always be by your side, Anthony Joshua. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel. I'm out, and Anthony Joshua's out.